ESPN West Palm tonight. JMP, Jeremy Marks Peltz with you. So cool to have a couple of guests joining us now as Keiser University, which continues to be an absolute mammoth, both in terms of, universities throughout the state of Florida and other places, but, especially the flagship campus here in West Palm Beach. Both with education as well as their athletic program. We are the home of Keiser football, and recently Keiser began, breaking ground on a huge aquatic center that is going to be a difference maker. And joining us to talk about that, as well as kind of what it means for the entire Palm Beach County landscape, we've got Wesley Solar, the Special Projects Coordinator at Keiser University, as well as our friend George Linley, who is the Executive Director of the Palm Beach County Sports Commission. And guys, appreciate it so much. And Wesley, let me start with you. How did these plans start in terms of, where you were brought in, to get this going from the ground up?
Well, first, Jeremy, I'd really like to thank you. I'm really excited to be here. But I actually started at Keiser about 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. I was brought in on this, and I couldn't tell you how happy to have this be my first project. My fiance is actually a swimmer, so to have my first project be an aquatic center is pretty awesome. But let me just tell you about the project, a little bit of the project, and kind of the background for it. So Keiser University is committed to bringing a world-class aquatic center to the flagship residential campus in West Palm Beach. We're excited to support our men's and women's swim teams, serve as a community resource for swim lessons, which is also really important, and continue to be a catalyst for sports tourism in West Palm Beach, which is even more handy and super, super important as well. So Keiser has always had a students-first approach. And with this aquatic center, we're excited to bring that philosophy to the community. As our Vice Chancellor, Belinda Keiser, always says, Palm Beach is a place of service and the best of everything. So our dream of this aquatic center is for it to be a gathering site for the community, a spot to mentor student athletes striving for the highest level of achievement, but also a place that for the community to teach important life-saving skill of swimming to people of all ages, children, families, and the elderly alike.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And George, from your standpoint, obviously, Palm Beach County sports, I don't think people understand just, how great of an area it is, when you look at all the massive events that come into this area. So, in terms of painting the whole picture, where does the aquatic center fit in?
Yeah, no, you're right, JMP. Palm Beach County is one of the top 5 destinations in the state of Florida when it comes to sports. And in terms of volume of events, the reach of events, and then the economic power that's created through sporting events. And there's no doubt that Keiser University has played a huge role in creating economic progress, economic benefits, and a tourism impact through its partnership with our sports commission. And now, before I tell you about my thoughts on the Aquatic Center, I can tell you that if not for Keiser University, our sports commission would not have hosted some of the highest level of collegiate events, especially on the NAIA level, the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. We've hosted 4 men's soccer national championships over a 4-year period. We've hosted 2 women golf national championships. We've hosted at Keiser University, we've hosted both NAIA and NCAA collegiate basketball invitationals. This year we had an NAIA women's volleyball invitational. We've had tennis championship events. And we've also, for 3 straight years, hosted the Sun Conference baseball championships. Those are thousands upon thousands of hotel room nights that have been filled. And that's a significant level of economic impact, direct visitor spending that has come to this county through collegiate sports because of Keiser University. And when you're talking about the Aquatic Center, an Olympic spec aquatic center, I think it opens up a whole nother avenue for our sports commission to work with Keiser University in hosting collegiate swim meets and potentially even a training ground for future Olympic athletes. It's something that we think could happen. I think we could be an Olympic-related site because of this facility. So it will be, from a sports tourism perspective and from an economic impact perspective, I think it will only enhance what we're already doing through Keiser University.
That all sounds great. Wesley, do you have more pressure put on you from your fiance, the swimmer, or from what you just heard there from George?
A little of both, but no, we're super excited. We know that our swimmers work really hard, and I know, dating her since high school and in college, that two-a-day practices are a big thing. I know the commitment it takes, and no one deserves this Aquatic Center more than these students, more than our students.
What is the next steps in terms of a timetable and anything that that I know the public could be involved in?
So we're planning. I'm actually glad you asked. We are having on April 1st, 2022. We're hosting a kickoff event to help with our fundraising. To raise awareness about, the tragic statistics of children drowning. It's the #1 cause of accidental death from children up to 4 years old. So raise awareness about that, get the excitement going. That'll take place April 1st. And actually the website for that, if you'd like to go check that out, it's aquaticcenter.keiseruniversity.edu, aquaticcenter.keiseruniversity.edu. So please check that out, and we'd love to see you at that event.
Very, very cool. And George, what else going on the, or maybe I should ask, what's not going on in terms of the Palm Beach County Sports Commission sports scene, because it is always just a huge cavalcade of events.
Yeah, we're feeling very, very blessed. We've had a remarkable recovery once we were able to get to the summer. As you know, for the sports industry, this last year and a half has been the most difficult and the most challenging time frame, definitely that I've seen. The COVID-19 pandemic has unfortunately hindered the sport event industry more than most other types of business realms in this country. But once we got to the summer, we saw not only a return to our normal level of sports in terms of the number of events that we're hosting, but we started hosting events on a national level. And the actual visitors for sports, I think we saw the pent up demand for especially our participatory events or youth and amateur events. We actually saw an increase in participation for sporting events, and the number of visitors and the number of hotel room nights and visitor spending actually rivaled, even exceeded just a bit. We have a strong lineup of fall events, and I'm really optimistic about this year, JMP. Hopefully, I know I'll be back talking to you about some marquee major events that will take place the rest of the year, and I'm hoping for a full return to sports in 2021 and 2022, actually.
Yeah, we're excited for that. George, Wesley, really appreciate your time, and excited about the Aquatic Center.
Thank you so much.